Good morning. Good afternoon to my friends in Europe. It is Monday, June 10th, 2024, and this is the Option Pit Ticker Highlight Show. I am Mark Sebastian, your only option. I am joined by one Viking of volatility, looking sharp. I like the aqua on you. It's a good color for you, Andrew. That's a new, the new look.
I'm trying on the old guy golf shirt.
You know what? The old guy golf shirt suits you. It's a nice look for you, man. All right. So this week we are reviewing Crowdstrike. Kind of an interesting one. We've seen the software security companies just blowing up over the last few days. And it's not just Crowd up $30 this morning. This is up 24% since, almost 24% since they announced earnings on the 5th. It is sitting at a 3-month high, 2-year high, 5-year high. This might, in fact, it is an all-time high right now, folks.
Imagine that.
Just blowing up. Another one that we were watching, we were trading in yesterday, last week, was Mobileye. And this is another cybersecurity. It's had a really rough year. And now with CrowdStrike blown up, this thing is starting to see some pretty aggressive action. Pretty nice uptick in implied volatility. Crowd kind of the opposite. Now it's breaking all-time highs, but the vol is actually starting to really normalize here. Let's look at some of the fundamentals. Obviously, cybersecurity is becoming a bigger and bigger and bigger piece of the market. With we talk about all the positives of AIs. How about the negatives of AI? I could create an Andrew bot and have Andrew bot call me and or someone could create an Andrew bot and Andrew bot could say, Mark, I need to reset my password. What's my password? I would tell it to Andrew bot. And then the next thing you know, the whole Option Pit website is for ransom for 4 Bitcoin or something silly like that.
Which is what they do.
That is what they do. That's why, folks, rule 1, never share your password, even over the phone, even if you think it's your kid calling you or your mom. All right? Get some sort of proof. Have a secret word that AI won't know. So, Andrew, our secret word is...
I don't think we should say it on camera to be pushed out to YouTube.
You don't think so? All right. Well, then I'll just make up our secret word. It's not a real secret word. And my secret word is Nordic Track.
Our top secret word.
Our top secret word is Nordic Track. But anyway, folks, we're not here to tell you about how to secure yourself, but life lesson. Have like a secret word with like your one trusted person that you would share your password with. And make sure they use that before you give them any information. Never share information over the phone with anybody. Somebody calls you and says they represent Microsoft or Google or anything like that. 99.9% chance they are lying. Now, there's an off chance maybe they're not, but they're probably lying and trying to steal your stuff. So don't share anything. Your bank, same story. All right.
I love Olive Garden. Could the secret...
that is not going to be anybody's secret word. But you can do that within your family. But what if I'm a company of 100 employees? I was working at RBC. Does anybody remember the I love you virus? Andrew, do you remember the I love you virus?
It's not ringing a bell, but that doesn't mean
this thing, and it was this email, And the email title was "I love you." And if you clicked on it, it opened up your email and sent "I love you" to everybody in your contact list. And so I'm sitting at RBC with these old bond traders, and I'm just getting flooded with "I love you" emails. Now, that was harmless, but it just goes to show you. I mean, this is 24 years ago, but these were, RBC is a big company. They had already put out a protocol. You can't stop your employees from being your employees sometimes. So that is where the fundamental case is. Like, you've got this sprawling government that needs security. You've got sprawling state governments that need security, sprawling local governments that need security. You've got sprawling companies. And so this business of cybersecurity is just getting bigger and bigger. And it's kind of a race, right? The scammers are literally trying to race the cybersecurity to see, to kind of, think of it as cybersecurity as an NFL defense, and um, the hackers as the offense. So cybersecurity literally needs to basically be able to call the offense's play. Now, the good news is that, there's no pass interference penalties, and you can do basically anything you want to block these guys. So they've got a much better handle to them. But these guys and girls have all sorts of different ways. So cybersecurity is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and Crowd is the leader in that industry. Mobileye being another one. So from an investment standpoint, yeah, you look at the PE of 656 and you say, boy, that's really high. But this is one of those forward PEs where you have to ask yourself, maybe this is justified. Um, Maybe this is a company that can become right now the revenue is 3.2 billion. Could it get to $50 billion in revenue? Heck yeah. Heck yeah, it could. I firmly believe it. How many it doesn't take, every time a company gets hacked, Crowd gets a new customer. And now they got competition. So the long-term case for a name like Crowd or Mobileye, I think is pretty darn valid. Now, Mobileye is the smaller of the two. It's worth about half. They do about half the revenue. So, I mean, pretty well justified. They don't make money, unlike Crowd. At least Crowd makes money, right? Like, if you're looking for, a silver lining here, they made 53 cents a share. That's not nothing. They have positive cash flow. If you're gonna go for one of these wild PEs, be my guest. But I'm not gonna get. I don't like these wild valuations when the firms don't make money. Andrew, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, like, because you could still, like, the revenue could double, and everybody's like, "Oh, the revenue doubled," and everybody, everybody's oh dear.
But if they don't make
Sorry
money, they don't make money. And so things I care about are margins. What are their margins?
about
And do they have positive cash flow? Do they create cash? And do they are the earnings growing on a kind of consistent level, kind of an exponential level? And you look at EPS in Crowd, and they are just continually blowing the doors off of their earnings. Their moves have been bigger than the implied most of the time, although not unilaterally. And they have not missed on an earnings since they've not missed on earnings in a very long time. And so there's some things to like about it. Now, I don't love it up $30. But the vol is cheap. It's very difficult to sit there and not, it's very difficult to just go long a call or something like that. I almost want to shift and look at Mobileye. The issue is Mobileye doesn't make money.
Somebody was just put in
And
their Mobileye as like automated car AI.
I aren't I believe they're you know what they are. Why did I think that they were
You
cybersecurity?
were there's another one, there's an M, not one. There's another one that
What
I
am I
think is
thinking of?
um isn't it it used to be a very popular stock. It got bought out. I'm trying to think of it. No, not PAN. No, 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 no. It is. Oh man. I'm trying to think. I know what you the
Oh,
one you mean.
yeah, thank you, Tom. I apologize about talking about Mobileye that way. I was thinking, well, yeah, we've got Palo Alto. Palo Alto is, um, a competitor with Crowd, little more reasonable, 44 PE,
Dude, Nvidia
330.
totally bounced, by the way.
What?
Nvidia totally bounced
It
today. It
did.
was down like below 118.
Cloudflare, this is another one. Cloudflare loses money.
Yeah.
We're not that makes it an absolute no. One second. Let me find
I
out.
just have to I have to look on the ETF bug.
Palantir is not really cybersecurity, but
They're kind of big.
Palantir is an interesting one. Net PAW might be an interesting one to look at. Because you know, little less crazy of a, little less crazy of a chart.
Yeah, so it's like CrowdStrike, Checkpoint, Zscaler,
Oh
Palo
yeah,
Alto Networks, Gen Digital, Fortinet, Okta, CyberMark Securities, Radware,
I know.
Darktrace.
PNW does miss on its earnings, but most
But
of these do.
that's not hasn't stopped Nancy from buying it though.
Yeah. Net, it's hard to buy Crowd up $30. I like it long term. I like it to probably 450, but I would like to see the earnings grow into, I'd like for at some point for it to take a breather and for earnings to kind of grow into it. But PANW is another one. So I'll stop talking, unshare my screen. Andrew, you want to look at some of these implied volatilities and
Yeah, yeah. I was looking at it. It's kind of I'm kind of surprised they sort of went here. I'll share my screen now here. I guess I'm waiting for the Queen of Candles. I don't know where she is.
yeah.
She's stuck. Well, hello everybody. Well, let's look at a little IV here. Um, so this is a 6 month chart. Let me look at a 1 year chart. So again, earnings came out. Now they added to the S&P 500 and they get a little bit of a boost. It's hard to, it's hard to get long up 31 bucks, adding to the S&P 500. However, we do kind of have the law of round numbers coming at us.
Mm-hmm.
So you got like 400. How just so let's talk a little bit. So from I would say from a volatility point of view, you got 90-day vol is 40 something. You know, um, you had a little bit of a move here going into earnings, but then we drop like, and so I'm just gonna say there is potential to move here. Like it's moving and you can buy implied vol relatively inexpensively for what you're getting. Now the difference is you're playing in a little bit bigger of a, we're playing in a little more expensive of a sandbox. Like the 400 calls in July are 12 bucks.
Right.
You know, normally we like to play here with this, with the ticker highlights. We don't like to spend more than $400-500 for a trade. Like last week, did anybody get that Chevron strangle last week? Because that put blew up to like $6.
Yeah, it did.
um, I didn't fill it, and then I went on vacation. So or vacation, I guess I'm going to call it a loose word. I don't know if it was a vacation, but it was time off anyway. Um, like I in my head, like I would do something like I like the idea of, you know, I like the idea of a 400 calendar. Um, but it's an expensive calendar, but maybe we could buy like a cheap 400 calendar. So
I
this
mean, this thing
is
could be 400
760.
tomorrow.
Huh?
This thing could be 400 tomorrow.
I know. That's what I'm looking at, like something cheap. Like if we did like the June 28, June 21, let's see what the June 14s are. Now this is 250. So here, so you could do it this way. We could sell the so we could probably get like pay 220 for that 400 calendar, 43 over, like, I don't think this would be a bad, relatively low cost calendar. And like maybe buy a couple of those, and then you could hedge with some junk put if you wanted to, if the stock kind of started to get a little weak, maybe below 370, something
Yes.
like that.
And if you just want to play simple momentum, I would just buy next Friday's call, the 400 call for $5. If you just want to
Let's see.
go straight momentum,
All right.
next Friday's call is $5. Obviously, high risk, high reward. You get one more day like this, you're going to triple your money.
Yeah.
So you're risking
Uh,
$5 to make 15 with probably about a 50-50 shot. So
so next week is what, June 4, no, June. Today's the 10th,
yeah, it'd be the June 21st.
14th. So this is the 21st.
Friday's the 14th, 21st, 28th. But
What is it? $5?
yeah, for less than 5.
All
And
right.
so here, folks, let me walk you through how I do the math on that. All right, if crowd in the next like 3 days, which is really how long you would hold the 400 call for. If crowd goes to 400 in the next 3 days, that call be worth about $15, right? Because what's the 380 call right now? Right? Crowd is trading 381. The June 21st 380 call is 1250. All right. So let's just say $12 to make it easy. So I'm risking $5. All right. If crowd goes to 400, I make that turns into $12. If crowd drops, I'm probably going to end up selling my option at $1.50, $2, something like that. We'll say $2. So I'm risking 3 to make 7. And I think I got a 50-50 shot there. All right. So what's 50% of 7 is 3.5. All right. So, and 50% of $3 is $1.50. So risk reward, kind of there. That's the way I would evaluate it. You like that, Andrew?
I do.
Yeah.
That is
So that's
very,
why I would look at maybe buying that call.
so I'm seeing the calendar spread. I'm going to try 225 for my calendar. See how that goes. I'm going to try 225 on 2 and see. And then I can push it up. I think it fills 250 pretty easily, but I'm bidding 225. And then I would say, if you want to kind of, okay, like do a little hedge thingy here, you're like, if you go down to 375, so 375 CRW, CRWD, again, with adding to the S&P 5, it's a lot of momentum going up. It fills 225 pretty easily. So this filled 225. And now I just put a little stop for myself here. I would just buy like a 350 put, 350 put. I would buy one June 28, 350 put for it's like two, I don't know, it'd be around $3 or something like that by the time it had. If you wanted to kind of hedge the trade, because your calendars, you've got about $4 in premium coming in and short, and that would essentially give you that put for free. So you're kind of riding the kind of the theta neutral trade there. So I would say if you drop below 375, this would be if you know. And I'd say with Mark's trade, like if your put call goes to $3 or less, just close it. So it's just up to you how you want to manage the idea. Um,
Yeah.
and let's see here what we got here. How about a cheap fly? I mean, you could buy a cheap put fly if you wanted, Will.
Or a cheap call
Oh, thank
fly.
you about the ceremony. Yep. It was quite something. I have to say. It was rough business.
Yes. Cheap call fly makes
You
some
could go
sense.
for a cheap fly. I would probably just center the fly around, like put the short end where we just were. So, you know, let me see here. Where is our stock now? Uh they're not going to be super generous here with maybe these but things are filling in the middle pretty easily from what I just did, which means vol's probably going lower. You could do a 70.55, so that's $15. You might want to do a little wider. Um, a cheap fly maybe 70.50.30 for $3, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it's I think with the vol so low, Will, my fly would not be my first choice. I have to be
Yes.
honest.
All right. Great, everybody. Well, there you have it.
Uh,
You've got
and
your
but last week
inexpensive
on Monday,
idea.
the Chevron, I never filled it, and then I had to leave for the week, so I didn't try real hard. I didn't get my bid, but you did well on that strangle if you bought it. If you're still holding the call, you're going to do really well on it.
Yeah.
Because I think the stock right after we looked at it, the stock moved what, $7
Yes, it
last
did.
week. It was
Um,
it, yeah, let's see here. Um, so this was Monday, right? We're looking at it during the show. We're like, Leisha was a little iffy on it and went bleep like
yeah.
right away. So
All right,
uh,
everybody.
would have been a nice little
Well,
trade.
so there you
Oh my
have
god.
it. We gave you a calendar spread, a little more active idea, and we gave you a simple June 21st 400 call. Again, if it goes $3, let it kill it. But we're looking for a crowd to make a run of 400, and we're going to sell that baby at around $12. And then you also have that beautiful calendar spread that Andrew developed using the volatility. All right, everybody. Andrew, thanks for being here. Good to see you. Good to
Thank
see
you. Thank
everybody
you.
else. We'll be back here as we are every Monday at 10:30 Eastern Time for the Ticker Highlight Show. If you're not already liked and subscribed to the YouTube channel, smash that like button, click subscribe. We'll give you a lot of great stuff throughout the week. Click below and you can get our newsletter where we break this stuff down throughout the week, along with a lot of other great stuff. All right, everybody. For
All right.
Andrew T. Giovinazzi, the Viking of Volatility, I am Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful trading week.
Take care, everybody.